The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. What's going on, everybody? It is time for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on this Tuesday morning. And what better way to get the day started than to talk about some of the dumbest damn basketball I have ever seen in my life. I have coached 5- and 6-year-old children that had better clock management in basketball than the San Antonio Spurs had yesterday in Game 4 of the NBA Finals. I don't say this lightheartedly. I don't say this very often about my teams that I support. The San Antonio Spurs deserved to lose that game yesterday, and they deserve to lose the rest of the NBA Finals. You do not have a 29-point lead and then start jacking up 8 straight three-pointers that you missed with running no time off the clock, with doing none of that nonsense. And then to cap the whole damn thing off, the late game situations that they had yesterday were just stupid. Again, it was so stupid. All of it, so stupid. I love basketball. Y'all know I love basketball. But the way that De'Aaron Fox melted down yesterday, I'm going to try to get that video. I could have swore I had sent it to myself, but now I got to see where the hell everything is. Oh, there it is. I even titled it Dumb Basketball. That's what I called it in all of my stuff that I had. I try to download this now. That one. I got another video that I'm going to be getting up in here shortly as well. Because it's just, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. the way that the San Antonio Spurs played basketball yesterday. Again, I love basketball. Absolutely love basketball. And I cannot for the life of me understand what the hell.
Out in the corner, Brunson gets it back. Brunson on the drive, the floater's up. Shot won't go, rebound deflected.
You see the Spurs get the ball right there. The rebound is deflected. Boom, right there. Instead of going for the damn layup, right there, De'Aaron Fox, you have the lead. Look at the score right there. The score is 106-105 San Antonio, 12 seconds left. You have the lead. You want to try to get 2 points, run some time off the clock, make them foul you. Instead, what do? You bail them out. Boom, look at that right there. Bailed them out. You do the good thing right here. You do the smart thing right here. The San Antonio Spurs, you've melted down. You somehow still have the lead right here, even though you gave up 28 points in what has to be the biggest meltdown in NBA playoff history. It doesn't have to be, it is the biggest meltdown in NBA playoff history. You get the steal. Grab the ball. Boom, right there. Run to the opposite corner. Milk some time off the clock. You have the lead. You don't need this layup. You were out of position. It was an awkward-looking layup to begin with. You had no need to go up with that ball. Go into the corner with the ball and make them foul you. Worst case scenario, you miss both free throws. Hey, fuck, that sucks. You make one free throw, now you've got to go and play a little bit of defense. You make both free throws, now the pressure is on them. Instead, nope. We go for a dumbass layup.
For Jalen Brunson, allow him to operate.
We're going to go over this one now. The reason why I am so damn upset with De'Aaron Fox is because De'Aaron Fox is the veteran on this team. De'Aaron Fox is the guy who's supposed to be there in these late game situations to calm this team down and get them right, get their mind right. I get it. He's a young guy too in the spectrum of time, I guess. But it was just, again, some of the dumbest basketball. So here we go. Right here. Jalen Brunson gets the ball right there at the top of the half court, right there by half court. Victor Wembanyama is on him. De'Aaron Fox, his responsibility is to body up OG Anunoby, who is at the top of the key, or who inbounded the ball. That's De'Aaron Fox's job. Body up OG Anunoby. He goes in for whatever reason De'Aaron Fox does for a double team. If you don't trust that Victor Wembanyama, who you can tell even crouched down is still towering over Jalen Brunson, if you don't trust that Victor Wembanyama is going to contest the shot correctly, then you've got some problems, my dude. He's the best defensive player in the NBA. What more do you need from him? He's the best damn defensive player in the NBA. You move your assignment. Look at OG Anunoby, wide open, right on the baseline. Move it forward. Brunson shoots the shot. Castle's on somebody. Harper's on Shamet. You got everybody on a body except for De'Aaron Fox, who lets OG Anunoby run right through. And then he goes up and tips the ball in. Right there. That's your ball game. Wide open. And OG Anunoby doing what he's supposed to do, crashing the boards. Again, two of the dumbest damn plays I've seen in a long-ass time. Tommy saying, "What's up, Tip?" Bo saying, "What's up, bro?" Tommy giving me a little bit of love, laughing at me for the pain that I am going through right now. Bo saying it was an impressive meltdown. Ashley saying, "Tip, good morning." It was the power of the woo coming through and helping out the New York Knicks right there, erasing a 29-point lead that the San Antonio Spurs had. a 29-point lead. The San Antonio Spurs blowing the biggest lead in the history of the NBA playoffs. That is impressive. Impressive in the stupidity that the San Antonio Spurs had. Again, maybe I shouldn't be as annoyed as I am, but I am. I genuinely am. I do not understand what was going on in De'Aaron Fox's head. You're the veteran of the team. I will deal with the 8 straight three-pointers that they shot. I will deal with the 8 straight three-pointers that they shot when they were up by 25. Not running any time off the clock. Because you came down. You came down to a last-second game. It made the game interesting. I love me interesting basketball. But you did exactly what you needed to do. You did exactly what you needed to do. You got the stop right there. You get the stop. They miss the ball. The tip goes out to you. You tip it out to yourself. Run to the corner. Augustine, you've played basketball. What do you do in that situation? You run to the corner. Augustine says, it's incredible there. San Antonio was outdone by a tip. That is funny. That is kind of funny. Whenever you say it that way, that is kind of funny. You get the stop that you needed. One of the few that you had in the second half. You get the stop that you needed. You get the ball with less than 15 seconds left. 12 seconds whenever De'Aaron Fox gets his hands on the ball. You take the air out of the ball. You're the veteran on this team. Victor Wembanyama is 22 years old. Stephon Castle, 21 years old. Dylan Harper is 19 years old. I'm trying to remember who else was on the court with the San Antonio Spurs at that point in time. But it was so dumb. And I've been a big De'Aaron Fox fan. Yeah, I'm with it. He should have been better. And Augustine saying, wait, Wemby also missed 2 free throws. That is true. But which one is more egregious, Augustine? You still had time to deal with the missed free throws. You had the lead. 106-105 San Antonio when De'Aaron Fox gets his hands on that ball. Wemby steps up, alters the shot, does what he's supposed to do. The Cricket Commish saying, morning, money, Mike. Good morning, Cricket Commish. Hope that you're having yourself a great day today, my friend. You know me. I'm not having a good time right now. I am not. My San Antonio Spurs put me through it yesterday. Again, some of the dumbest damn basketball I have ever watched in my life. And I love basketball. I watch so much basketball. Again, coached 5- and 6-year-olds and seen them have better clock management than what the San Antonio Spurs were supposed to do yesterday. Ashley says, I think that's the biggest difference I noticed from watching without Pop. The structure went out the window. His team was almost boring to watch, but effective. I think that was one of the things, too. I probably should have gone back and looked at that. There was, I want to say it was about 45 seconds or so left in the game, maybe 50 around there whenever San Antonio got the ball. And the Knicks had just made a layup. I think they had just gotten the lead. And in that situation, you automatically call the timeout. You go on your merry little way. The camera pans over to Mitch Johnson, and I will have to go back and find this, and I'll put it out there on social again. But the camera pans over to Mitch Johnson, and he looked scared. He looked befuddled. He looked all kinds of incompetent at that moment. And again, I am a Mitch Johnson guy. I think Mitch Johnson is going to be a really good coach. But you saw the youth, not just in the team, but in the coach as well. We all forget Mitch Johnson is 39 years old. This is his first rodeo too, right? This is the first time he's been to a stage this big. Augustine saying the big thing is the choke job. That was the end of it. But it really was before that. Oh, no, I've mentioned it. Shooting threes with 20 seconds left on the shot clock for whatever reason while you're up by 25. Whenever the Spurs were up by 25, like the lead gets cut from 29 to 25. At that point in time, the Spurs shot 8 straight three-pointers with anywhere between 17 and 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Bad basketball. It was unraveling for them. A veteran team. I said this yesterday, and Dustin was like, oh, that got dark. A veteran team puts a bullet between your eyes in that scenario. They're not shooting threes. They're getting to the paint. They're putting you in foul trouble in the third quarter. They're putting their foot on your throat and making sure that you've got nothing going on for you. That's what a veteran team does. And Augustine, you are right. I do have to give the Knicks credit. I 1,000% give the Knicks credit. But, again, caveat here, but you don't win a game like that. You don't come back from a game like that without the team that's in the lead helping you out. And the Spurs did everything they could. They served that game up on a silver platter to the New York Knicks. Brunson was struggling in the first half. Karl Anthony Towns was absent basically the entire first half as well. Got 5 points in the fourth quarter. All 5 of those points, the only 5 points he scored in the fourth quarter of the NBA Finals. OG Anunoby doing a great job as well. Taking nothing away from the Knicks. Absolutely nothing away from the Knicks. They look like a team of destiny. They really do. But in order to complete a comeback like that, the team that's ahead has to play some of the dumbest fucking basketball you could ever have imagined seeing in your lifetime. Again, lifelong Spurs fan here. I have never seen the San Antonio Spurs look as incompetent as they did yesterday. And I've seen some lean years with the Spurs. I saw the tanking for Timmy, right? I've witnessed the last 7 years without Kawhi Leonard, no Tim Duncan, missing the playoffs, doing all this. I know, I understand that they have overachieved to be in the position that they are in right now. And I think next year is going to be one of those, we need to establish ourselves. We need to get this monkey off our back type of years. So I'm looking forward to next year already. I don't think the series is done. I think San Antonio can win in San Antonio. They have to. But I feel like the series is done in 6. The commission saying, yeah, you looked at the Atlanta Falcons last night. One of the most epic choke jobs of all time. The commission saying, but yeah, they're still crawling, not ready to walk yet. That's the issue with the San Antonio Spurs. Again, they have vastly overachieved. The New York Knicks took their lumps last year. We are watching in real time the San Antonio Spurs take their lumps this year. This is what tests your mettle. Losing like this is what tests your mettle going forward for the San Antonio Spurs. Augustine saying, I told you 6 games. You did. You did. It's also not that far of a stretch to say 6 games. Man, again, some of the dumbest damn basketball I have ever seen in my life. I hope that today, when they arrive at the practice facility in San Antonio, they go back and they watch that game and they see how dumb they played. Because that's the only way that they're going to have that. Like just any type of, like, you've got to go back and watch. I know a lot of the times you just say throw away the tape. Nah, dude, you got to watch this one. And if that doesn't spark a fire under your ass, you don't need to be playing basketball. Augustine says, and quit making excuses for having experience. All these guys have been playing basketball since they were 5. Again, maybe that's what today is. Maybe today is we're just going to say dumb shit left and right. because you've been playing basketball since you were 5 years old prepares you for the moments of the NBA Finals as a 20-year-old, as a 19-year-old. Shit, 14 years ago, you started playing basketball as a small child, and that's going to prepare you for this moment. Tommy's saying, put them away, Knicks. Put them away. They need to. Put them out of their misery. I end it in 5. I would hope the Knicks can end it in 5. Stop giving me hope. That was the whole thing. The whole thing this year. I told you, no hope. I didn't want no hope. They get to the NBA Finals. They gave me hope. How quickly Augustine backtracks from the things he was saying previously. Again, though, young, dumb team. The Knicks went through the playoffs last year. They had their heartbreak. Hopefully they win a champ. And again, I would love to see a championship for the city of New York in basketball. It's been so long since the Knicks have won. And the Knicks, if you haven't been to New York, the Knicks are the heartbeat of the city. It can be the middle of the Yankees baseball season and people are still rocking their Knicks stuff. It can be the Giants in the playoffs and the people are still rocking their Knicks stuff. The Knicks are the heartbeat of that city. So it is cool to see the possibility of the Knicks winning a championship. I just wish it wasn't at the expense of my favorite team. And I was thinking about that too. I was thinking about that, Commish. As the Commish says, at this point, the Knicks better win. They will probably destroy that city worse than if they lose this series. A part of me was like, doesn't one amazing comeback deserve another? Isn't turnabout fair play? Don't get me wrong. I do not think it will happen. I'm putting that caveat out there right now. But how great would it be for the Spurs to pull off the next 3? How great would that be for the Spurs to pull off the next 3 wins? You get a 29-point comeback in one game, and then you get a team coming back from a 3-1 deficit in the NBA Finals to win. That would be awesome. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be awesome. Also, I didn't know, obviously I'm not a Swiftie, so I don't know these things. I did not know that Taylor Swift was a New York Knicks fan. But I did see a lot of people out there saying, I don't know what it is, people on their damn conspiracy theories. I'm going to wait for my dog to stop barking. Augustine saying, Tip, that's not going to happen. I believe I said that. I think I said it like 3 times that it's not going to happen. I just said, how great would it be if it did happen? Again, turnabout's fair play. I would love it. One comeback deserves another. One comeback deserves another. But Augustine is right. Nobody knew that Taylor Swift was apparently a New York Knicks fan. I had no clue whatsoever. But I did see out there after the Spurs won game 3, all the conspiracy theorists out there saying, oh, the NBA is rigged. They want the San Antonio Spurs to win, which is weird. They want the Spurs to win. And it was the same people that were saying that the NBA is rigged because they wanted the Kansas City Chiefs to win simply because of Taylor Swift being a part of the Kansas City Chiefs fan base. So, which one is it? Which conspiracy theory? Like, I just think about that meme of the dude that's sweating that's got to push like the 2 buttons, right? Like which button do I push here? Is it the NFL is rigged because of Taylor Swift? Or is it that the NBA is rigged against Taylor Swift? Which one of these is it? Which one of these is it? You nerdy ass dipshit conspiracy theorists. Which one is it? I am not in a good mood. I probably should not have said that, but you know what? Fuck them. Augustine says hope is a dangerous thing. And that's all sports is, man. Trafficking in hope. Again, will it hurt when the Spurs lose the NBA Finals? Yes, it will. It'll suck. I don't like watching the team lose in the NBA Finals. I've said it 1,000 times. I'd much rather be 0-82 than lose in the NBA Finals. I stand by that. I will take that to the grave with me. That is the hill I will die on. I would rather win no games than lose in the NBA Finals. On the flip side of that, dude, I am so happy with the ride that this team gave me. It's been fun. It's been great to see them get better. Now the question is, there's going to be pressure on them next year. How do you bounce back from that pressure? Because we see it time and time and time again. Hell, we saw it this year in the NBA playoffs with Detroit, with Cleveland, with Denver. These teams had expectations. We've seen it with Boston. We've seen it with Milwaukee. These teams have expectations to maybe get back, maybe be a little better, do something. And instead, this is going to be the 8th straight year of a different champion in the NBA Finals. The longest streak in basketball history of not having a back-to-back champion. I think it's awesome. Just personally, I think it's awesome. But we haven't seen those dynasties yet. Who's to tell? Maybe the Knicks. What's the pressure going to be like now on the Knicks? Everybody's looking at you. You're the guys with the target on your back. It's easier to be the hunter than the hunted. How's it going to be whenever you bounce back with that? How's San Antonio going to be able to bounce back with that? We've seen windows shut on teams, right? We saw it happen with the Washington Commanders. We saw it happen with the Detroit Lions. These windows open very briefly, and if you can't capitalize on it, they will shut on your face in a heartbeat. The NFL, I get a different beast than the NBA, but damn. Augustin says, by the way, it was awesome that Donald Trump showed up to a game that his team lost. That's fake news. The Knicks have already swept the series. Okay? Now, he wasn't asleep. He was watching little TV. Although he was knocked the fuck out at that game. By the way, Hart was close to being the villain. How do you miss that layup? And on the inbounds, Castle had him dead to rights. The pass was awful. It really was. The whole time. And what Augustine's talking about is the inbound pass that goes from Dylan Harper alley-ooping it to the basket. It had to have been tipped, but I don't think it was. It was just a bad pass. The entire time they're saying screen with Castle, screen with Wemby. Wemby rolls out, goes to the basket, alley-oop, right? Because there's no goaltending on an inbound pass. So you can basically shoot it directly at the basket. Wemby can get it and just guide it in. That's what everyone is guarding for. Instead, they reverse it. Castle sets a screen. Wemby sets a screen. Wemby goes to the top of the key. Castle rolls out to the basket. Had at least, and Augustine, maybe you can help me out with this. There was at least 10 feet of separation between Josh Hart and Stephon Castle. Dylan Harper makes a halfway decent pass over people right into the basket for Stephon Castle. That's a layup that wins the game. But once again, if my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. We can't be living in the world of if. We live in the world of what is, and what is that the San Antonio Spurs had the biggest choke job in the history of the NBA Finals, in the history of the NBA playoffs. That is not something that we as basketball fans have been used to saying over the last 25, 26 years of San Antonio Spurs greatness. But that is the actual fact. I'm fully expecting San Antonio to come out in Game 5 and hopefully slap the Knicks around. Augustine says, what is bad pass in a key part of the game? No, I mean, and that was the thing, man. We can talk about the shot selection. We can talk about De'Aaron Fox not dribbling the ball out. We can talk about all that stuff. That's just the tip of their problems.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip.
the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
That noise makes me so happy all the time. That sound makes me happy every time I hear it. Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Guys, imagine playing a whole basketball game and having a 29-point lead and then blowing that lead. It's like getting kicked in the nuts. And the only way that you can feel better is by having www.myhappynuts comfort cream on your boys and feeling the best you possibly can. Don't have sad nuts like the San Antonio Spurs right now. You can't spell sad nuts, or you can't spell, I don't know, I was going to say something. We got it. The Spurs sucked yesterday, and they would have been better if they had just listened to me by going to www.myhappynuts.com, getting the comfort cream, feeling better about themselves. Maybe that's what it was. They were just uncomfortable. It was probably hot and muggy on that court in Madison Square Garden, and they would have gotten the win had they gone to www.myhappynuts.com. Instead, they don't. They shit their pants, and now they've got to go home smelling bad. Don't be like the San Antonio Spurs. Be like a winner. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all of your male grooming needs. I genuinely hate that I love sports. Why can't my teams be good? It's so bad that San Antonio got outdone by Anunoby's tip. OG Anunoby has been playing out of his damn mind. Like, I know when the Knicks win the NBA Finals, it's going to be Jalen Brunson who winds up getting the MVP, the Finals MVP. But there really needs to be some consideration for OG Anunoby here. OG Anunoby, over the last couple of games, let me get these stats here. You know me, I love me my stats. OG Anunoby, in yesterday's game, don't even want to look at the Spurs stats. Garbage-ass squad. OG Anunoby yesterday, 33 points, 7 of 9 from 3. 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 1 block, 4 boards. So he did a little bit decent there. Jalen Brunson, 36 points, 3 of 7 from deep. 5 boards, 7 assists, 3 turnovers, 3 steals. Had himself a good old time. OG Anunoby really needs to be looked at. A little bit of consideration, right? Just a little bit of consideration for the Finals MVP. On Tuesday, I guess it was Monday. Wow. This week has felt like one long week. On Monday, OG Anunoby had 28 points, 5 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, 0 turnover, 2 blocks. So he's been doing his part, man. He's really been doing his part. Tommy's still laughing at me. Still laughing at the pain that I was in. That should show you right there how much better of a friend I am than Tommy is. When his team did dumb shit, I sympathized with him. I was like, I can't believe they would do something so dumb. I didn't laugh. I should have laughed. I could have laughed. But instead, Tommy, I was there for you. Like the good friend that I am. But no, I agree. Fucking laugh at them. The Spurs deserve all the hate, all the vitriol, everything. Like I said at the beginning of the show, they deserve to lose the game yesterday. They deserve to lose the rest of the NBA Finals. That was, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most embarrassing losses for what has been a model franchise over the last 3 decades. Laugh it up. I'm with you on that one. Augustine says, oh, we sympathize, but it's not laughing at you. It's laughing with you. My guy, James Steele, Bob, Jim, and Pat get drunk on the internet. ESPN producer. FaceTimes me last night and was like, dude, we got to take a shot. So we took a shot of Terramana tequila. It was brutal, dude. Watching that entire second half was brutal. Absolutely brutal. So, yes, I had to take a shot. Probably should have done some other things. Where's my meth when I need it? Man. San Antonio Spurs or Atlanta Falcons? It's got to be the Falcons. I'm not saying it to like detract from the Spurs, but it's got to be the Falcons because it's a one-game thing, right? Like the Spurs can win tomorrow, or not tomorrow. They can win on Saturday. Maybe they win game 6, force to game 7. The choke job is kind of in the rear view. If this was like a game 7 choke job, by all means, right? Like this would be the greatest choke job in all of sports history. But it's game 4. It's not the clinching game, whereas it's 28 points in the third quarter in the Super Bowl. More eyes are on the Super Bowl. It's got to be at the Atlanta Falcons, but I'm willing to hear an argument as to why it would be the San Antonio Spurs. I just think because it's a one-game sample, right? It's a one-game sample. Like I said, Augustine's asking what would the equivalent to the Falcons be? If it was in the game, I guess it's got to be game 7, right? Because there's other games yet to be played. We don't know how they play out. If it's game 7 and you're the Spurs and you're at home and you're up by 29 and you wind up losing, this exact same game plays out the way that it plays out, you wind up losing a championship like that. Yeah. Then I would say that's better. That's a bigger choke job than what the Falcons had. But game 4 in a game that doesn't clinch, it doesn't hit as right. Like it is embarrassing, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't hit as hard because it was like that was finality, right? Like the Patriots come back, they win that game in overtime, the first Super Bowl to go to overtime. The Patriots come back, they win that game. Great catch by Julian Edelman. That was finality. There wasn't another game to be played after that. There's another game on Saturday. Spurs win that one, then there's another game next week. Spurs win that one, then we get a game 7, right? Like there's a lot of ifs right here. Augustine is saying, so what are the greatest choke jobs? I mean, the Falcons one really, that one's really there. The 18-0 New England Patriots, that's got to be there, right? Like having that undefeated season has got to be there. I want to say, again, maybe the San Antonio Spurs in the 2013 NBA Finals, where Ginobili has 2 free throws and misses. Kawhi Leonard has 2 free throws and misses. The Heat get a shot that's missed. The ball gets tapped out. Ray Allen hits that shot. Game 6 goes to the Miami Heat. They wind up winning in 7, but I guess that could be considered a choke job, but it's not on the level of, again, the Atlanta Falcons, and it's not on the level of that undefeated New England Patriots team just getting dismantled by the New York Giants. Like, that's got to be. And obviously, again, because the Super Bowl is so much bigger than basketball. And it's a one-game sample, right? Like, it's hard to be like, there's a huge choke job unless it's a game 7. Like, yes, this was a enormous choke job. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to diminish what happened. But there's still games to be played. That's what kind of like, maybe the Knicks win on Saturday. We can be like, yeah, the Spurs had a chance to go 2-2, wind up losing 4-1, right? Like maybe we can say that. But again, if San Antonio wins, it takes a little bit of the sting away. They win game 6, takes a little bit of the sting away. You get a game 7 in San Antonio, anything can happen. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Spurs go up by 39 and wind up losing that game because De'Aaron Fox is an idiot. And I like De'Aaron Fox. That's the thing. I'm so disappointed. Again, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Maybe that's what it is. I am in full dad mode right now with the San Antonio Spurs. I ain't mad, Spurs. It's not you. It's me. I shouldn't have given you this much love from myself. Maybe that's what it is. But that is a good question, Augustine. I guess it's hard for me to think of right now what the biggest choke job in sports history would be, but I feel like it's got to be the Super Bowl because it's so much bigger, right? And again, my ignorance on the World Cup, maybe there is a World Cup team that made it to a final and shit the bed there. I don't know. Maybe there's something in hockey outside of my Vegas Golden Knights being absolutely dominant. I don't know. Augustine saying, yeah, that Patriots undefeated season is probably the greatest choke job. It's got to be like, it is interesting that both of the biggest chokes in Super Bowl history happen to be with the New England Patriots, right? Like the New England Patriots winning and then the New England Patriots just shitting the bed against the Giants. Tommy says the Falcons choke job is the worst choke job of all time in his opinion. It's really hard to say that it's not. Let's see. What does the internet tell us? I bet you the internet's going to give me something from like the 1812 World Series or some shit like that. Oh, that's a good one too. That is a really good one. Tommy, you're going to love this. The 2004 New York Yankees in the ALCS against the Boston Red Sox, blowing a 3-0 series lead. David Robinson. Why do I not have that name right? Why does that name not sound right to me? Dave Robertson. There we go. I was saying David Robinson. I was like, well, that's not David Robinson. I can't see David Robinson, 7'1" ass stealing bases in the ALCS. That's a really good one. But again, that's not a championship. I guess it's like the American League pennant. So that's a really good one. The Falcons are at the top of this list. The Music City Miracle, that's one of them too. Again, a wild card game, though, that's not a championship. I'm getting right here the 1996 Masters. Greg Norman, a.k.a. the Shark, had a 6-stroke lead entering the final round, but famously shot 78, allowing Nick Faldo to claim the green jacket by 5 strokes. Man, get your stroke game right, Greg Norman. (2011) the Masters, Roy McIlroy, entering the final round, had a 4-shot lead. He shot a final round 80, including a disastrous triple bogey on the 10th hole. Oh, here we go. The 1950 World Cup, heavily favored Brazil, only needed to draw in the final match against Uruguay in front of 170,000 home fans, but lost 2-1 and is still in what is still a devastating national trauma. A devastating national trauma. That is crazy. Oh, this is a recent article on Bleacher Report. It's probably going to give me some sort of virus. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so the first thing on this list is the 2021 AFC Championship game between the Chiefs and the Bengals. The Bengals were down 21-10 in the second quarter. 21-10 in the second quarter just doesn't seem like we should add that to this list of comebacks. I feel like we see teams come back from 21-10 in the NFL all the time. Tommy's saying, oh, that's right. I forgot about that one, talking about the Red Sox and the Yankees. I try to forget about that one. Oh, the New York Mets. That's another good one, too. Maybe we put the Detroit Tigers on there from last year. The New York Mets had a, 9-game lead in the division with 10 games left and then wound up losing the division. Tommy says, no, it's still the Falcons. Like, I agree. Like, it's the Super Bowl, man. This is the biggest stage in American sports. I just want to go over this list on Bleacher Report. The 2019 Houston Texans. Oh, that was against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's what started the whole Mahomes mania thing. The 24-0 lead in the second quarter, but then Mahomes comes back and wins that game. God. The 2025-26 Cleveland Cavaliers. Oh, because the Cavs had a 20-point lead in that game. So I guess we're going to have to add the Spurs on here. Yannick Sinner in the 2026 French Open. Okay, a lot of this is dumb. The Colts, a couple of years ago, they had a 33-0 lead against the Minnesota Vikings and then wound up losing that game. The Duke Blue Devils. Oh, the 2017-2018 Houston Rockets is also there. If you don't remember that, they had a lead in the series. I want to say it was like a 3-2 series lead. It winds up going into a game 7. They dominated game 6 or something like it was just wild. But it was that game where they went 0 for 37 from 3. The Houston Rockets did, to wind up losing to the Golden State Warriors after having like a 3-1 series lead on them. It was something crazy like that. But went 0 for 37 from 3. Again, that's really hard to do, to go 0 for 37 from 3-point land. More work emails coming my way. That's always fun. We got to add this. Like, obviously, this came out in May of 2026. This list did. The 2011 Red Sox. What happened here? The Red Sox and Yankees went back and forth in the AL East race through 2011 season. The Red Sox held a narrow 1.5 game edge entering September, but the Yankees had an 8-game cushion in the wild card spot, so the Red Sox looked like a virtual lock to be a part of the playoff picture in some capacity. The collapse, a disastrous 4-13 skid, including a 1-6 record head-to-head with Tampa Bay, left the Boston Red Sox tied with the Rays in the wild card standings entering the final day of the regular season. The Red Sox blew a save against a 93-loss Baltimore Orioles team, while the Rays got a 12th inning walk-off home run from Evan Longoria, leaving the Sox to contemplate their collapse over a long, cold winter. Again, that's not a championship, though. It's just getting into the postseason. The 2015-2016 Northern Iowa Panthers. This is the first I'm hearing about this. The 2009-2010 Northern Iowa team is one of college basketball's most memorable recent Cinderella stories, as it took down number 1 seed Kansas to advance to the Sweet 16. 6 years later, the Panthers were causing brackets chaos once again when they upset number 6 seed Texas in the first round and had number 3 seed Texas A&M on the ropes 69-57 with 44 seconds remaining. Oh my God. The Aggies went on a stunning 14-2 run over the final 44 seconds, aided by 4 Panthers turnovers. The comeback was capped off by a steal and layup from Admon Gilder to tie things up at 71-71 with 1.9 seconds remaining. It took 2 overtimes, but Texas A&M eventually came away with a 92-88 victory, denying Northern Iowa what would have been its second ever trip to the Sweet 16 in crushing fashion. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, it's already there. So they must have made an amendment. You sons of bitches. They must have made an amendment to this article that came out in May, and they did that rather quickly, I would like to add, because here it is. Last night, the San Antonio Spurs, the 2025-26 San Antonio Spurs, after falling behind 2-0 at home in the 2026 NBA Finals to a red-hot New York Knicks team, the Spurs took Game 3 at Madison Square Garden. They were in complete control of the game, early in Game 4 with a 27-point lead at halftime that was the largest in NBA Finals history for a road team, and an 81-52 edge early in the third quarter. The Spurs shot just 4 of 20 from the field and scored 14 points in the third quarter, while the Knicks used a 13-0 run to help make it a 90-75 game through 3 quarters. The Spurs still led 104-97 with 3 minutes 31 seconds remaining, but back-to-back threes from Jose Alvarado and Jalen Brunson, followed by a Brunson floater, put the Knicks on top 105-104 with a minute 22 remaining on the clock. A pair of free throws from Stephon Castle put the Spurs back in the lead with 30.3 seconds to go, and a Brunson missed 30-foot pull-up shot for a potential game winner, but OG Anunoby was there to clean it up for the game-winning tip-in. It's the biggest comeback on record in an NBA Finals game and the second largest ever in an NBA playoff game. This article came out in May. So they had to go back, Bleacher Report, which puts out a shit ton of articles daily, had to go back, find this article, and say to themselves, we're adding the San Antonio Spurs there. But they put it at number 11. Oh, the Cubs, the 2003 Cubs in the NLCS against the Florida Marlins. That's on this list. Augustine, maybe you can tell me about the 2005 AC Milan team. What we had mentioned earlier, the 2012-2013 San Antonio Spurs, that Ray Allen shot. The Seattle Seahawks, I don't know if I'd call that a choke job as much as I'd call that something absolutely just a terrible play by Pete Carroll. That is the let's pass the ball instead of run the ball thing. The Virginia Cavaliers in the top 5, the 2011 Texas Rangers. I'll have to look back at that one. The Golden State Warriors, the collapse they had after being up 3-1 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. My New York Yankees are right here at number 2. And at number 1, as we all mentioned, the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons led 28-3 with 8 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the third quarter of Super Bowl 51 against the New England Patriots. With a veteran quarterback in Matt Ryan and a reliable run game anchored by Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, they were in great position to avoid mistakes, bleed the clock, and come away victorious. The collapse. The remaining time dragged on forever for Falcons fans as Tom Brady and the Patriots rattled off 25 unanswered points, the largest comeback in Super Bowl history. For the first time ever, the Super Bowl would be decided in overtime. The Patriots won the coin toss. An 8-play, 75-yard drive was capped off by a game-winning 2-yard touchdown run from James White. That's what I love so much about the older overtime rules, where it was sudden death in overtime. Instead of this, everybody's got to touch the ball. Instead of that nonsense, I miss sudden death overtime. Tommy laughing at my team, laughing at the San Antonio Spurs. Bleacher Report put this article out. I want to say it was like May 20th or some shit like that. Yeah, it says that they edited it yesterday. But I could have swore the thing told me. Yeah, May 28th, 2026 is whenever they put it out. Then they make the amendment last night or this morning to add the San Antonio Spurs there. Now I'm wondering what they took off. Like who was in 25 because they moved the Spurs to 11. So, 11 to 25 had to be bumped. Who was at number 25 now? I'll never know. Heartbreaking. Almost as heartbreaking as being a San Antonio Spurs fan yesterday, watching that debacle of a game happen. But it happened. And you know what? I'm a better person for it. The heartbreak, without heartbreak, we don't know happiness. Thank you, San Antonio Spurs. Tommy's saying, if you were the only Spurs fan I knew, I'd be rooting for you guys to win. That is true. I do know a lot of annoying-ass Spurs fans. I also know a lot of annoying Cowboys fans, Yankees fans, Golden Knights fans. Maybe it's me. You know who's not annoying? Jacksonville Jaguars fans. And that's why they are our number 2 team on the tipping point with Mike Tipton. The Jacksonville Jaguars. We know what to expect from them. And it's just a conveyor belt of disappointment. Thank you, Jacksonville Jaguars. I love you guys, and you guys love me back. You never disappoint me because I just expect perpetual disappointment from you. All right, everybody. I want to thank you so much for tuning into today's show. Remember, on Saturday, Fire and Ice going to be live at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive. Hopefully we see you all out there. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, everybody. Have a great day.